no better tradition in high school football.
You see his legs are alive again. He is putting on a show.
Got Hodzik, beautiful throw for a touchdown.
Grilling Jervis, he must have spun about 4 different times. That's going to be a highlight for a sophomore.
Brandon Newton with his 3rd touchdown run.
Talk about turning on the jets.
Great catch by Kiwan, still on his feet.
He's special. No doubt about that.
Brings it in to the end zone for the touchdown. Hello, Boston. Welcome to Charlstown High School for a Week 6 matchup in the Boston City League. Charlstown Townies taking on the Dorchester Bears, and we are set to go here at Charlstown High. And Charlestown in the blue uniforms is receiving, and they will be brought down right around the 32-yard line.
I'll tell you, Pat, we've been waiting about 5 weeks to see this Dorchester team.
That's right.
First year coach, but the beat goes on with the Bears. I mean, they've had some impressive wins. Very close game against O'Brien, which they won with the last score of the game. But other than that, they've pretty much taken advantage and been in control.
There's your starters for Charlestown. Actually, Frammy Lavara was a late scratch for this game, so he will not be playing quarterback today for the Townies. We're going to go with more of a Wildcat look. Kewan Platts and Vaughn Skinner in the backfield. Goodridge and Beckett are the running backs.
Charlestown team struggling this year, and they've really had some difficulties with injuries, losing players for various reasons. They actually started out with about 27 players, but today's game they only have 15 in uniform, which is going to be tough sledding because obviously you have most of the kids playing both ways. That's Kewan Platt in the backfield. He's going to be buried for a loss of about 5 as the Dorchester Bears come across in good shape for that first down play. Watch the replay. You'll see it pitch, that little bobble threw off the timing of the play and gave Dorchester a chance to come through and stop for no gain. On the tackle, Lamont Haynes for Dorchester. Now it'll be second down about 16. Charlestown in their new uniforms, actually dark blue with the white and red numerals. Meanwhile, Dorchester in their traditional white jerseys, visiting jerseys, and black pants. Another pitch to Platt this time. Kewan trying to cut across. Makes up the yardage from the first play, and now he'll be stopped after about a 6-yard gain. Kewan was a wide receiver last season. Now he's been put back in the backfield as their main running back. This time a simple handoff, and he's able to get something on his own. Charlestown will face about a 3rd. And call it 9, about 3rd and 9. First series of the game, Charlestown received the kickoff, and they're at their 34-yard line. Shotgun formation. Pass to the sideline is good catch. Really very close to the first down, is coming down with that ball. Good pass and catch, good protection to start things out. That's going to be very close to a first down. See, they're going to mark it a little short. See the sideline catch, good job going in the air, but the officials have it marked as a 4th and about 1 for Charlestown. They're at their own 42-yard line. So Goodrich with that catch in between 2 defensive backs for Dorchester. So bit of a risk here, but Charlestown's going to try to keep the football. On the 4th and 1, they're going to go for it. Power I formation. Handoff to second guy through, who actually stopped cold. Excellent Dorchester defense. They expected the run. Got it, able to stop it. Now Dorchester takes over on downs. I mentioned in the open, Dorchester, one of the top teams in the city, coming in averaging 24 points a game. Defensively, only giving up 6 points a game. Meanwhile, Charlestown actually has the most porous defense in the city, giving up an average of 38 points a game. Stephen Jock is their quarterback in shotgun formation. Hand off to Yvonne Hong. Hong down the sideline, trying to get back to the middle, actually stepped out of bounds. 19 yards and the first down for the first play from scrimmage for Dorchester. No score yet, just underway. They're out here in Charlestown as visiting Dorchester Bears. You see Hong going down, and didn't mean to, but accidentally stepped out of bounds when he had some more room. So it's 1st and 10 for Dorchester. They're at the 24-yard line, inside the 24-yard line of Charlestown. Standing in the shotgun. Hong in motion again. Fakes the handoff, this time Jacques, Stephen Jacques down the sideline. And the first score of the game as Jacques goes all the way for the score for Dorchester. 6-0. 24-yard touchdown for Dorchester. You see the quarterback, Jacques. He faked the handoff to Hong. Fake right there, and then came out to the left side, which was totally closed down. Looks like Kewan Platt tried to get him at the end, but he's already in the end zone. So 6-0 Dorchester. They'll go for 2 here as they get their first score. Again, this time Jacques is going to go under center. Power I formation with Hong, the deep back in the eye. Hong gets the handoff and stumbles and didn't quite get there. Actually had room, but somehow lost his footing when he came down. Conversion try, no good. So Dorchester up 6-0. There you see he started to stumble right there, and as he hit the turf, he was short of the goal line. But Dorchester does strike first after the defense took the ball over on downs. The Bears will now kick off again to the Townies. Mentioned that Charlestown's short-handed. They only have, like I said, 15 players in uniform today. Meanwhile, Dorchester team has been doing so well all season. In first place in the Boston South. 5-0 record overall, 4-0 record in league play. Coming here with a strong, strong team. Laguerre, the solo safety back to receive this kickoff. This is Stephen Jock, the quarterback, kicking off. Quarterback goes to the side, and Kewan Platt trying to pick it up. Gets to the sideline and is smothered around the 24-yard line. So instead of kicking down the middle, they kick to the side and was able to cover it well as Kewan had nowhere to go. Second possession for Charlestown. They'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, they actually had a couple of plays. They had one good run. They had the nice third down pass that left them short of the first down, and then they weren't able to convert on a 4th and 1. See if they can do any better now. 1st and 10 again. 3 backs behind the quarterback. Again, another pitch. Okay. Kewan tried to pitch it. Bunch of flags down. They're looking at ineligible receiver. The play was a pitch to the left, and he was going to try to throw the ball back to the quarterback. But again, the penetration by Dorchester's defense grabbed Kewan, and now they're going to get knocked off and thrown to an ineligible receiver as one of the linemen.
Second down.
Was the target that the ball went to. So that first down play really blows up, and it's going to be major penalty. So you see the pitch. Now, it was supposed to be a pass back to the quarterback, but instead, Kewan gets wrapped up and tries to salvage something, but he had no eligible receiver in the area.
That seems to be the mantra of all the teams who are struggling right now in the City League, is that they get a good drive going, and then all of a sudden they get a penalty or a turnover and halts everything.
Well, it's been the defense for Dorchester so far.
Now on second down, it's Kewan Platt with the carry up to the 19-yard line. 8-yard pickup for Kewan. So a positive play there for Charlestown, but again with the penalty, it just seems like you're working.
They're starting in a hole, exactly. See, you're starting the first down in a big hole, and this Dorchester defense they're just so aggressive. You watch them; they take the chances. They get very close to the line of scrimmage, take away most of your running gaps in the middle, so you're forced to try to go outside, and the Bears still have the speed to catch you before you get to the sideline.
So third down and about 15 now for Charlestown. With the pass over the left side to Kewan Platt, but he's going to be wrapped up just past the line of scrimmage, and Charlestown's going to have to punt the football.
Yeah, you're seeing a very good defense. I mentioned a minute ago, they only gave up 6 points, giving up 6 points throughout their first 5 games. You see the gang tackling. And the problem that Charlestown's facing right now, they only have 15 kids in uniform, so obviously a number of their regular players aren't available. And when you're talking about filling in the offensive linemen, you're talking about some inexperienced players, and you can see it in these first 2 series with Charlestown.
So Charlestown now going to punt the football here from their own 23-yard line. And after the high snap, Charlestown's going to be tackled in the backfield. Dorchester's going to get the football at the 9-yard line.
So you're talking about snowballing, Pat. Low snap on the long snap, so the punter is getting pressure anyway. He gets tackled. He tries to make something out of nothing, and just like you said, you have Dorchester now set up at like the 12-yard line of Charlestown.
So Dorchester already on top 6-0, coming in at undefeated. Is now got a chance. So the Bears now in excellent field position at the 12-yard line. First down and 10 for Dorchester. And Jocks with the handoff inside. That's Rene Laguerre with the carry inside the 10 down to about the 13.
Yes, similar. Watching these first 2 series from Dorchester, Pat, it's very similar to East Boston. They run a couple of different running backs in there. Hong got the carries in the first series before Laguerre actually got the touchdown.
They're the starters for Dorchester. Jakes, Campbell, Harris, Handy, and Hong, the skill position players for the Dorchester offense, averaging close to 25 points a game this season. Jake's really done a nice job out of the quarterback spot. 6 rushing touchdowns this year. And there goes Jakes again with the carry, and he is in for a touchdown.
Good ball handling. I'll tell you, they faked 2 handoffs.
That was Laquan Giltz with the carry.
Laquan getting it. Now watch, you had Giltz right there and wide open because the defenders were chasing the 2 fakes.
So Dorchester with their 2nd touchdown of the game. This one to Gilks, and they're on top 12-0 here early on in the first quarter.
And a straight formation for this 2-point conversion.
Now the handoff over the right side to Theo Campbell, but he is wrapped up in the backfield. But for the 2nd time in a row, Dorchester not able to convert the 2-pointer. But they are on top of Charlestown 12-0 here in the early going. And once again, you're seeing mistakes by Charlestown. That penalty that they had in their last possession backed them up. They were forced to punt. Of course, the punt didn't go well, and now Dorchester's right on the doorstep.
Well, Dorchester's doing right now what they've done in most of their games. You talked about them coming in averaging 24 points a game, but more impressively, they have 2 shutouts. They've scored 28 points 3 different times. And they just, like I said, the O'Brien game was a tough game. That was their last time out, and they actually had to score the last touchdown of the game to get that win. That was a 20-14 win. But other than that, the rest of the games they pretty much had under full control, winning by more than 2 scores.
So Jakes again with the kickoff. It's fielded right around the 24-yard line. And a nice return here for Charlestown. Down the left sideline for the Townies. That looks like Vaughn Skinner, who's going to go in for a touchdown. 76-yard kickoff return for a score. These are the type of plays that this Charlestown team needs.
Oh, definitely. Well, we talked about their porous defense, but on offense, they're actually averaging 16 points a game. You see Skinner. The key is he's able to get the ball on the run, already in stride, and just found the gap. And you see Hong trying to be the last tackler, but he runs right through that arm tackle. So just like that, it's 12-6.
So Charlestown now looking to tack on the 2-point conversion. They can get within 4 if they're able to do that. You got to think for the Townies and Coach Dave Cahill, after going down 12-0, scoring a touchdown against an undefeated team's got to be a good feeling.
Oh, definitely. I mean, especially that way. You know, you just don't expect a big return.
Kewan Platt, the deep back. And now it's Vaughn running for his life. Vaughn Skiller just going to throw it out of bounds. So 2-point conversion is no good.
So it stays at 12-6, but like you said, Pat, I mean, a little bit of life for Dorchester as they floundered the first 2 times with the football. But the quarterback on the special teams is able to break one all the way, 76 yards.
It's a good shot right there of Raul Brown, the coach without the red hat on. He's in just the black fleece, excuse me. He was an assistant coach for Dorchester last year, took over for Richard Moran, who spent 9 seasons as the head coach for Dorchester. Raul's just picked up right where Coach Moran has left off.
I mean, he has a bunch of players coming back, and it didn't make any sense to change much. And we're seeing the results. Coming into this game 5-0, and really a strong team in Boston South.
Dorchester now on top 12-6 after the Vaughn Skinner 76-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to cut the lead down to just 1 score. And now Dorchester, good teaching moment here for them. They now have to learn how to respond to giving up a big play like that.
Well, that's, like you said, they've only averaged giving up 6 points a game. This is a touchdown here in the first quarter. So you're right. They're thinking that we have more of a game than we thought.
Skinner with the kick over the right side of the field, and that's going to go out of bounds. That'll be an illegal procedure penalty on Charlestown. So Dorchester has 2 options. They can take it at, I believe, the 35 is where they would get it, or they can make Charlestown re-kick.
I make him kick it over because, like I said, Charlestown's so short-handed. Your players are winded anyway, so if you make them run down the field twice, you make it a good chance for a return. Yeah,
we just saw a kick return for a touchdown anyway, so Dorchester's licking their chops saying, why can't we do it? And of course, they're also going to push Charlestown back to the 35, where they have to kick off from again, so it'll be a shorter kick. Certainly give Dorchester very good field position.
Either way, right. Even if they don't have a big return, they'll be starting somewhere close to at least their 40-yard line.
Giovanni Hong back to receive along with Kai Harris.
Both guys with enough speed to go all the way.
Much better kick this time from Skinner. Harris fields it right around the 17. Kai Harris up the middle with a huge hole for Kai Harris. He could take it the distance. Kai Harris gonna go in for a touchdown. How about that? Second kickoff return for a touchdown this season for Kai Harris. That one for 80 big ones.
Well, I think what we talked about, the fact that Charlestown's playing basically the same 11 players for everything, from scrimmage, punts, kickoffs, and so you make them run down the field twice. Here's Kai Harris, one little quick cut back to the middle of the field, and after that, it's all speed. Picks up a nice block there. Looked like Kewan Platt was trying to run it down, but he got blocked on the play, and just like that, 18-6.
Dorchester back on top by 2 touchdowns. Now for the 3rd time, they're going to attempt a 2-point conversion. First 2 times, they were unsuccessful. Bears in a spread formation. Hong in motion. Jake's looking to throw, looking over the right side, well out of the reach of Hong.
Look at his hand. I think the ball just slipped out of his hand because Hong actually was open in the corner. From our angle, you can see the ball had no chance to get to him. Well, watch the way he throws this. He just sort of like slips out of his hand and just goes over to the sideline. But Dorchester, other than the kickoff return they gave up, they've been just as impressive as advertised, because I'm telling you, their defense from scrimmage, very aggressive. They've really bottled up Charlestown on their first couple of possessions, and obviously the 6 points for the Townies on that big kickoff return. But I think more of the problem for Charlestown is the fact they have this pretty much same 11 kids playing the entire game. That's going to be tough, because Dorchester already the more talented team, more numbers, more substitutions, and a chance to keep fresh players out there.
You got to think Coach Cahill and his staff, one thing they have to use to their advantage is the 5 timeouts they have in each half.
Oh, that, no
and use
doubt.
them strategically.
No doubt. Right.
Maybe not necessarily for football reasons, just for guys to get rest and guys to get a break.
Yeah. To try to get refreshed, you're right. Coming into the game, this is the classic case of what on paper looks like a real mismatch.
Sure.
I mean, it could turn out that way, you don't know, but they still got to play the games, and like we said, Dorchester's got to still be stunned by the fact they give up 6 points so early in the game.
So Dorchester. Well, they just flipped it around. So I'm guessing this is now the second quarter.
Another chance for a run back.
Another chance for another kickoff return for a touchdown.
Palmer's going to knock him out of bounds, but this is like one of the Madden games.
This is unbelievable.
For whatever reason, poor kickoff coverage on both teams. Yeah, there you see just one little quick groove and down the sideline. This time Hongwood was able to run him down and knock him out of bounds. I'll tell you, look here, a 42-yard kickoff return puts the Townies in Dorchester territory at the Dorchester 38-yard line. Still 18-6, Dorchester up, but the Townies are trying to make something out of this.
So Charlestown now with excellent field position inside the Dorchester 40-yard line at the 38.
That's going to be procedure.
Strike!
Too bad there's one a few times so Charlestown looked like they had something going. It was a wildcat snap directly to the running back, who was coming to the wide side of the field and had some room. But one of the Charlestown players left early. That's what you say, Pat. First down penalty puts you in 1st and 15. And it's tough enough just getting 10 against the Dorchester defense.
Right.
Don't help them out.
Dorchester over the past few years especially has been known for the way they fly around and gang tackle at the football. And even though defensive coordinator Joe Kane left Dorchester and is now the head coach at Boston English, it still seems like they have that same type of defense.
Oh, no doubt. They're swarming defense. They like to keep the linebackers close to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be another procedure penalty against Charlestown. You got to wonder if these are maybe newer plays that they're trying, and everyone's just not on the same page. Back-to-back procedure penalties puts you now in 1st and 20. Toughest part of that, it takes all the momentum from that big kickoff return away, because you hear it scrimmage and you're 1st and 20, and now you're back close to midfield.
Charlestown now faced with a 1st down and 20. Keewan Platt, the deep back for the Townies. And once again, Charlestown with a just tough time up front. That time, Skinner just had to kneel on it. I think we had some confusion about what the snap count was.
Yeah, the snap came up, but the other lineman didn't move. You're right, he just kneeled down because he thought he was going to lose the football.
Charlestown now faced with a 2nd down and 21.
In a passing formation now. Shotgun, 2 receivers here to the wide side.
Now to the shotgun. Pass over the left side is to Kewan Platt. Tries to make a move, but he is wrapped up at the 34-yard line. Make that, excuse me, the 46-yard line.
Yeah, not much room at all. You mentioned the swarming defense. They recognize the 2 receivers out here in the flat. There's Kewan getting that pass, and as he tried to make a cut, slipped a little bit, but 4 Bears just engulfed him.
About a 3-yard, maybe a 4-yard pickup there for Charlestown. They'll be faced with a 3rd down and 18. Now from the Dorchester 46.
Getting close to getting a delay of game penalty. Back to the shotgun.
Sayon Nathaniel, the deep back, they're going deep down the right side. And the pass falls incomplete. Sion Goodridge out there looking for the ball, but good coverage there from Dorchester, and the pass a little too deep for Goodridge.
So again, facing 4th and long. And what looked to be a good possibility offensively after that huge kickoff return. The back-to-back penalties really put them in tough shape.
Now on 4th down, Charlestown again looking down the left side of the field, and that ball's intercepted. Kai Harris with the interception for Dorchester, bringing it down the right sideline, puts it back up the field. Harris is going to take it to the house for another Dorchester touchdown.
Well, they score in all kinds of ways. We've seen a kickoff return. We've seen a quarterback fake run. Now we've seen a 75-yard interception return on defense.
You see Harris on the return.
Obviously with the running back skills, as he has the speed, getting challenged around the 5-yard line, but stiff arms his way into the end zone.
So Harris with the interception return for a touchdown. Dorchester on top 24-0. And they will again try to tack on a 2-point conversion. 75-yard interception return for a touchdown for Kai Harris. Now on the 2-point conversion, they hand it off to Campbell, and he gets in for the 2-pointer. So Dorchester with a 26-6 lead over Charlestown here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, that time they blocked it right. You see not much opposition there as he's able to get the 2-point conversion, Campbell.
Our sideline reporter, Damon Turbot, has an update for us. Damon, what's going on down there?
Charlestown was able to score 6 points on a kickoff return touchdown, but have struggled on the offensive side of the ball, unable to really get anything going. A big reason for that? Well, they don't have a quarterback, literally. Vaughn Skinner, the man under center today for Charlestown, has never played center in his life. He's actually the team's running back, so of course adjustments will have to be made. I spoke with assistant coach Charles Dean before the game. He told me that a lot of players are having to make these switches to new positions due to a depleted roster. The team began with 30 players at the beginning of the season, but dressed only 15 today, so hopefully these guys will be able to get it figured out. But a big reason why they're struggling today is because of this depleted roster, so hopefully they can figure it out, guys.
Thank you very much, Damon. Certainly that hurts when you got your quarterback down. They actually had a freshman running back this year that got injured during the season. So Charlestown really hurting numbers-wise because of all those injuries. And now on the return, Charlestown fumbled the football. We'll see if they were able to hang on to it.
Well,
I think they were.
The change in quarterback may explain the procedure penalties, because that quarterback center snap is vital. You have to have some type of coordination with that, and if you're brand new with it, it's tough. And this is probably the worst team in the city to be experimenting against.
You talk about some of the best teams in the city. Dorchester definitely up there. Madison Park also undefeated right now.
Call that a surprise, or they just Roosevelt Robinson?
It's just Madison.
Yeah,
That's Madison, I look
exactly.
at it.
They love playing defense. They love keeping the scores down.
They run hard.
Right.
Those guys tackle. Dorchester and Madison very similar in that aspect. Come on, Renee! Now on the snap, it's Kewan Platt trying to get to the sideline, and he picks up a couple of yards there.
Maybe about 5-yard gains. He's able to get away from the first tackler.
He's marked down at the 32-yard line.
Man, the first couple of series that Charlstown had actually just gone straight shotgun to make it try to make it easier. But it turned into more of a wildcat because you had all running backs getting the long snaps. Dorchester's just done a good job defensively, identifying where the ball is right away.
Right now, basically, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly.
Second down now for Charlestown. Second down and 4. Pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage, so that'll fall incomplete. Charlestown going to be faced now with a 3rd down and 4.
I was wondering.
It's got to be tough. You're a running back all season, and you're thinking you're going to have a decent year with Vaughn Skinner. And, one of the smaller guys out there, but good speed, really good speed. Saw that earlier, and then to be sort of forced to play quarterback. I mean, it's just how the team's struggling anyway.
Exactly.
But he was actually playing pretty well from the running back spot the first 4 games.
But I didn't see it from which side of the field they were.
The confusion on the formation.
They did switch sides.
3rd down and 4 now for Charlestown. And it's Vaughn Skinner looking to throw, facing some pressure. He's just got to chuck it out of bounds again.
Again, receivers, or started out with one of the players was out of position. And as he rolled out, just couldn't find anybody open.
You see one of the very few players on the sideline right now for Charlestown.
It's amazing. When they were in warm-ups, they had 15 players in uniform. One other player came out. A couple of guys with their jerseys and out of uniform, so they're probably injured. You go 30 to 15 in the course of, 4 games?
Skinner now looking again back to throw, escapes some pressure, is then driven out of bounds right around the 31. He lost a yard on the play. So Dorchester will take over at the Charlestown 31-yard line.
Well, earlier in the game, the only punt that they tried was a bad snap. You see Juan's just trying to make something out of it. It's taken out of bounds. So I guess we've seen them go on 4th down ever since.
They actually marked Skinner down at the 30, so that's where Dorchester will set up their next possession.
Well, the game went from 12-6 to 26-6 pretty quickly. You had that big defensive interception touchdown.
You got to think, too, with Charlestown, they bring this kick back for a touchdown. Got to be a great feeling for them. The momentum is starting to sort of shift back towards them. Then all of a sudden, Dorchester just does the same thing right back to them, and it just completely takes their breath away. Now on 1st down, it's Theo Campbell, pounding it up the middle for the Bears. Past the 25,
moving the pile.
past the 20, inside the 20 to the 18.
Good strong run by Campbell.
Hey, play's not over, go get it.
You see, watch Campbell. He's going to get hit right there. Didn't get wrapped up, though. Like I mentioned, just kept pushing the pile. And as you said, it ended up deep inside the 20-yard line.
They're going to mark him down at the 17, so a 1st down for Theo Campbell. We saw Theo last year, more of an outside runner with the tough quarterback Johnny Mims for Dorchester, but this year, more the workhorse for the Bears. Now over the left side, it's Hong with the carry.
Lost
he lost the football.
It got stolen.
Charlestown bringing it back. That looks like Keywan Platt down the right sideline. He's still on his feet. Platt's going to take it in for a touchdown. What a play by Keywan Platt.
Just stole the football. It looked like Hong actually had room to get into the end zone. Don't see any flags in the field. Two long runs, you have to say somewhat unexpected, for two touchdowns for Charlstown. See exactly what he right here, the quarterback's the only one that has a chance to try to grab him, but he runs through that and gets the 6 points.
95-yard return for Keywan Platt.
That's a strange one because Hong was on his way into the end zone. So they must have maybe just had the ball away from his body. Keywan was able to not only knock it away, but keep it and take it back 95 yards.
That's right. It looked like Giovanni Hong had a clear path for a touchdown. And now Charlestown going to take a timeout. And I'm not sure if this is because of their formation, but this would be a good time actually to give these guys a breather.
No doubt.
After going back and forth so much, this is a pretty good timeout for the Townies.
The funny thing is, as strange as the game has been, you're talking about 26-12. 26-14 is a big difference, okay? And I mean, right now, they still have to score twice in a conversion to tie. Now, if they make the conversion right here, then they're just down 12, and it's 2 touchdowns, but
without
you don't need conversions.
Right.
But their bigger problem, obviously, is on defense so far. I mean, they've given up huge plays. And even that last one, like you said, from our angle, you could see that there was an opening, there's a gap there for Hong to score a touchdown before the ball was stolen.
Now out of the shotgun, it's Skinner over the left side. And looking for Keywan, very short on the pass. So once again, Charlestown unable to convert.
That's the frustration I'm talking about. See, Skinner's used to being a running back, and on that one, his instinct probably told him to try to run it, but the play was to throw that down and out pass into the deep corner of the end zone. That's going to be halftime.
So with the referees keeping the time out on the field, that's going to be the half here at Charlestown High as the Townies trail Dorchester 26-12. That's got to be one of the craziest first halves we've seen definitely all season and maybe in a long time.
It's been years, I'm telling you. You talk about back-to-back kickoff returns for touchdowns. That's strange. That's steal of the ball. I think we haven't seen that in quite some time. And then return it 95 yards. And we didn't know that that was actually the last play of the half. If he gotten tackled, no score, halftime is still 26-6. But the fact that he was able to go all the way and at least get the 6 points, didn't get the conversion, but they're that much closer at 26-12. So just some strange plays. And it's one of those things where Dorchester comes in and being high school players, it's just tough. When you hear the coaches say, listen, don't take him lightly, don't take him lightly. And you're coming in undefeated, you're playing a team that you know struggles, gives up over 35 points a game.
That's right.
You got to figure, well, we're going to kill these guys.
Certainly tough to coach guys like that, but I think Dorchester right now has done a great job so far. Down on the field is Damon Turbett with one of the coaches. Damon, take it away, pal.
Thanks, guys. I'm with Charlestown head coach Dave Cahill. Now, Coach, you guys struggled in the beginning, but yet you guys find yourselves down only 2 scores at the half. Tell me about your chances going forward. How you feel about them?
We feel pretty good. We got a young quarterback who's never played quarterback before. We had a guy wide open on the 2-point conversion there. So if he can settle himself down, we have plenty of time to get him back in the pass. Our offensive line is doing a pretty good job against them. So I think if we can get a little bit him under control a little bit, throw some nice passes here and there, I think we'd be a pretty good chance.
All right, and tell me about that. He's never played a game at quarterback. You guys have had a depleted roster, really, just 15 guys dressed for today. How has that affected today's game?
It affects us a great deal. Our offensive line, we probably had about 5 guys, young guys that are stepping up, doing a great job today. We lost a few offensive linemen, a couple backs, so we're doing the best we can with it. They're giving 110%, even though we've only won 1 game so far this year.
And now we've seen some great plays on defense and special teams, but the offense is still lagging behind right now in the first half. What do they need to do to fix that in the second half?
We just need to get our quarterback on tune and throw us a couple nice passes to some guys that are wide open.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Damon, and certainly Coach Cahill got to be happy with the effort from Charlestown, but with the depleted roster, it just makes it so difficult to even keep with a team like Dorchester.
Well, what makes it tough is, just like Coach Cahill said, you have so many players who are playing different positions. They're shorthanded. You're out there thinking, okay, what am I really supposed to be doing? Then you're getting tired because you have to play both sides.
Right.
So it's really amazing to me that they're even this close. They're down 2 scores, but it could be a lot worse than this, and they're hanging in. I like the way Coach said he wants to get the quarterback, even as inexperienced as he is, to complete some passes.
Sure.
He just talked about the one we saw in the conversion. Kewan was actually open, but it was a deep corner pattern, and Vaughn just couldn't get the ball far enough out there.
Yeah, certainly good effort here from Charleston. I think the basketball team might have more players on its roster right now than the football team does.
Can you imagine
it's
that?
unbelievable, but these kids playing very hard.
Well, they are playing hard. You have to give it to them. I mean, they've lost by some big scores a couple of games early this season.
Right.
But still, the effort's out there. I mean, it's different when you have some talent but don't give a full effort.
Right.
These guys obviously have much less talent than Dorchester, but they are giving a full effort. So they have the 2 scores, and Charleston of all teams has the first team to score two touchdowns against this Dorchester team also.
That's right. That's right. To think Charlestown would do that is pretty amazing. The Charlestown Townies trail the Dorchester Bears by 2 scores and a couple of 2-point conversions. We'll see what happens in the second half. Now, we've shown this story a lot with a lot of Dorchester games at White Stadium. We're going to show it again. Such a fantastic story. The Savin Hill Little League just started a Challenger division a couple of years ago, so we're going to take a look at that right now.
I have the honor of introducing Coach Leo Seibitz. Let's get. Yeah. So I just want to welcome everybody back this Friday night for a homecoming, because we're also going to have a dedication to this field to be named after Coach. So, Coach, it's all yours.
I'm not as smart as I look. I have to cheat. But thank you very much for the round of applause. I really appreciate it. I'm not good at talking at things like this, but I'll do my best. I was a teacher and a coach, football and baseball here for 33 years. And I was a head football coach for the 33 years. I coached high school football for 47 years altogether. And I loved every second of it. I had the best job in the world. I live in West Roxbury. On a bad day, it would take me 7 or 8 minutes to get to school. I was a physical ed and health teacher. I wore shorts, sneakers, and T-shirt. And in case anybody's wondering, the shorts are on underneath the long pants. And but again, I had the best job in America. I loved it, loved every second of it. This is the best school. We had a tremendous headmaster, Don Pellegrini. He's retired now, and the administration, everything at the school was excellent. And they backed up football team, all the sports teams. And again, I coached baseball also, and that was just as much fun. In between, I had the weight room open. I loved that, you know. Gets an old guy like me a little chance to work out and hang with the kids. And that's what I did all day. I never had a job. I hung around with a bunch of city kids. I'm a city kid myself. I fit right in perfectly, and it couldn't have been any better. Summers, I worked for a construction company. I loved that too. Maybe I already said that. As you get a little older, you repeat yourself. And again, I'm not as smart as I look. What else? The field is excellent. They did a tremendous job here. I can't believe it. This goes back to '87. They promised us they're going to build a new field here, '87. They scheduled our whole football season away. We played 11 away games. We won them all, won a Super Bowl. And we had a team, a defense, that gave up 12 points in 11 games. 2 touchdowns, that was it for everything else was a shutout. And we weren't that good on offense, so we had to be extra good on defense. But again, we went to 8 Super Bowls, went to the playoffs twice, won 5 Super Bowls, and we've had some excellent assistant coaches and players. Without them, none of this would ever happen. I wouldn't be up here talking. I don't know that many words anyway, so I won't be talking much longer. It's not that I'm quiet, it's just that the word, you know. And anything else, again, thank you everybody that had to do with this. This field is awesome. I've never seen anything as nice as this. And you got the Millennium Park next door, and life is good. How can you beat this? Did I say enough? Go Raiders! Thank you very much. And one last thing. I love you all. I thank you all for everything, and may the good Lord bless you all. I learned that from my German mother.
So there you have it, folks. I apologize. I introduced the wrong thing, but that was Coach Leo Seiberts. Used to be the head coach at West Roxbury High School for a long time. Everybody knows here in the city of Boston who Leo Seiberts is. West Roxbury just got a brand new field right next to the school. It's beautiful. The fantastic job that the landscapers and architects did over there. And they had Coach Seiberts say a few words. At the ribbon cutting ceremony, the mayor was there, Public Works Commissioner, a lot of great people there, the school superintendent, fantastic job. Having a field like that, just much like here at Charlestown, when you have a field that's in great shape, just like this one, just like the one now at West Roxbury, that's right next to the school. You see kids, you're really supposed to be paying attention during class, but when you're looking out the window and you see that nice football field, that's got to motivate kids to play.
That's right. Well, that's what Charlestown's hoping will happen here in West Roxbury. They're also down this season. They're hoping they can get some of the younger players, some freshmen, sophomores, to be interested in coming out playing and sticking with it. That's the key.
That's right.
To come out, because a lot of these teams get an injury, players don't want to come back, or family won't let them come back.
That's right.
But you stick with it, then you have a chance to try to develop something.
Looks like we're just about set to go to start the second half here at Charlestown High. When we get a break here during the third quarter, we'll see if we can get you the halftime stats maybe after this kickoff. But Charlestown kicking off to Dorchester. Kai Harris, who already has an interception and a kickoff return for a touchdown, back to receive along with Jaleel Hong. And Harris fields it inside the 15-yard line. And Kai Harris once again with a seam. This time he's wrapped up at the 27. We have a flag at the end of the play. And while they sort this out, we'll see if maybe we can get the halftime stats. First up, it's going to be Charlestown High stats.
Here you see Charlestown, Keywan Platt, 2 yards rushing. Skinner, same thing. He got sacked a couple times. Keywan had that one catch, ended up for 3 yards. And what the stats don't show you, the 2 touchdowns were very unusual plays. A kickoff return by the quarterback, and then the last play of the half, stealing the football, going 95 yards. So they do have the 12 points.
So you see the Dorchester stats.
Yeah, you got Jacques, 24 yards. That was his touchdown, first touchdown of the game, actually. And then Hong, one with 19 yards. So Hong, and those guys are seniors. I think that's another difference that we hadn't talked about in the first half. Whereas Charlestown's moving guys around. Again, this is one of their seniors again.
Theo Campbell again with the carry. Another good pickup for him.
That's the point you made earlier, Pat. He was an outside runner mostly last year, but this year, because they have Hong back there, that's the first time that he actually tried to get outside.
12-yard pickup there for Theo Campbell, another first down for Dorchester.
It's a good run, and you can see he's used to getting outside. Look at the top of Dorchester's roster. Kai Harris, Hong, Campbell, Kijana James, they're all seniors. And that's got to make it a lot easier for the first-year head coach.
Theo Campbell shook off a tackle from Rudd Dantes, senior defensive lineman for Charlestown. Now on second down, they hand it off over to Theo Campbell. He tries to bounce it to the outside. Nowhere to go. Good tackle there from Sayon Goodrich.
Looked like Campbell had some room, but Charlestown, again, that's the effort we were talking about at halftime. They closed the gap quickly. It looked like he had a gap there, but as the Charlestown defender fell down, but he was in the hole. One of the Charlestown players shaken up, coming out.
That's Rudd Dantes,
yeah,
the senior offensive and defensive lineman, one guy that you really can't lose if you're Charlestown. Looks like he's okay. He might go back in. Now on 2nd down and 8. Dorchester with a small gain.
Looked like the ball was bobbled, actually, and recovered by one of the linemen. Gotta think back to that first half. At the end of the first half, it looked to us like Hong was on his way in. That would have made it 32-6. Because, again, that would have been the last play of the half.
That's right.
Instead, all right, Charlestown gets that crazy steal of the ball and 95-yard return for the touchdown. It's a 14-point game. So instead of a 26-point game, you get a 14-point game.
Yeah, the 12-point swing in Charlestown's favor.
The timeout by Charlestown is. This is what you were talking about earlier. You get 5 timeouts each half. You got to use them.
Yeah, you might as well use them.
Coach Cahill, he terribly short-handed, but at the same time, you want to keep the guys as fresh as possible.
Our sideline reporter, Damon Turbett, has got an update down on the field for us. Damon, what's going on down there on your end?
Dorchester head coach Raul Brown let his team know he was not happy with the team's performance in the first half, although they lead 26-12. They give up a few big plays in the first half, and coach said he expects his players to play hard on every single down, and if not, he's simply just going to find guys on the bench who can do that for him. So, guys, it's going to be interesting to see how his team reacts to that in the second half.
Thank you very much, Damon. And Coach Brown, he knows he's got an undefeated team. Even though they're up by a couple of touchdowns, he's really got to make sure that he stays strict with them, essentially, because they know what's coming around the corner next week. They're going to have a game to end the season, and then playoffs.
Playoff stop, yep, that's right.
In just 2 weeks. And when it comes to playoff time, things like penalties and missed assignments, you really can't afford those things to happen when you're facing another very good team here in the state of Massachusetts.
I'll tell you, one of the things they'll probably really hop on is the kickoff coverage.
Right.
For Charlestown to break that kickoff all the way for a touchdown. I mean, the second touchdown was really unusual, but even that's a focused situation where your running backs have to protect the ball at all times.
3rd down and 8 now for the Dorchester Bears. The pitch over the right side.
Oh, good job.
And once
good
again,
wow.
Coming up with the tackle there is Beckett. Excellent job by him.
That's the first tackle for a loss for Charlestown. So I think I'm telling you, that touchdown before halftime must have really got them fired up, because we were seeing good effort, but now they're making aggressive plays on defense. They're going to force Dorchester to punt.
Abdullah Beckett with that tackle right there for the Charlstown Townies. Junior for Charlestown. Abdullah was actually on the offensive line for a lot this year, but with some of the younger offensive linemen able to step in, Beckett was able to move back to tight end and also playing outside linebacker. Makes the play right there. Short punt for Dorchester. Here comes Kewan Platt on the return. Gets tackled near the 30 and is down right around the 32.
Yeah, good field position. Chance to cut into this Dorchester lead. See if quarterback Vaughn Skinner, you see the key, like I always say in high school football, if you catch these kicks on the run without letting it bounce, you give yourself a much better chance to get any kind of return. So let's see if Vaughn Skinner is going to get a chance to keep throwing the ball, like Coach Cahill mentioned at halftime.
Hey, let's go, boys. Let's go. Get a push there.
Charlestown currently with just 13 yards of offense so far in this game. Everything's come back on returns. There you see Skinner going down the right side of the field. And there was some incidental contact down the right sideline. Charlestown looking for a flag.
Well, part of the problem is that both teams have a right to go for the football, and the Charlestown receiver looked like he actually lost his balance after some of that contact. Not surprised to see them continue throwing the football. Shooting 3 for 9. They're only 3 for 9 so far. Like you said, Pat, it's the most deceiving stat game you ever going to see.
Oh, it's unbelievable. You even look at our
halftime. They got nothing from scrimmage, you know.
I mean, you look at
2 touchdowns.
You look at those halftime stats. Even for Dorchester, there's not a lot of yards there. But everything has been on special teams and defensive returns. 2nd down and 10 now for the Charlstown Townies. It's Kewan Platt who gets stripped of the football. And Dorchester, did they recover it?
No, Charlstown jumped back on it.
Kewan got right back on it.
But again, that was one of those wide receiver screens. Try to get your receiver out in some open space. The ball went down, and then he was able to jump back on it. It's too bad because they had the 1st down, like you said, again, the 32-yard line, and now they're going to face for a 3rd and 11.
Third down and 11 for Charlestown. At the Dorchester 33-yard line. Skinner looking over the right side for a receiver.
Ooh, close.
That
was very close.
I think that was Goodrich.
Goodrich, right. He ran
over the post pattern.
Yes, exactly. And then that was a well-thrown ball. Yeah, Skinner. Good protection. Good coverage also, because at the last second, Goodrich had to make a dive for it. But Dorchester's safety has sort of angled him out of position.
Yeah, Naeem Muhammad there in the coverage for the Dorchester Bears.
Well, now we see when you had to get a replacement quarterback, we see why they picked Skinner. He has a good arm. I mean, he's put the ball downfield a couple of times. Now looks like he's going to punt to try to back Dorchester up.
Skinner with a high end-over-end kick that's going to go well into the end zone. It was actually a good boot, except that he was so close to the goal line. I'm actually surprised Charlestown didn't go for it.
They'd gone for it a couple of times in the first half, and that's when the game was really teetering on getting out of hand. But I think now that with that 2nd touchdown, I think they probably want to just give the defense a chance to try to keep them in the game. Yeah, first series from Dorchester, it was shut right down by the Townies, especially on that 3rd down play where the tackle was for a loss. As we've said, Dorchester in white, coming in here 5-0, 4-0 in league action, and one of the 2 top teams in the entire city.
Now on 1st down, it's Jakes again, the quarterback. Get an inside handoff. I believe that was Theo Campbell with the carry.
See, these are plays that were going for big yardage in the first half, first quarter at least. Now Charlestown, whatever adjustments they've made, so far these first 2 series in the second half are definitely working. They're able to identify the ball carriers a little easier. I think you're right, Pat, about the Dorchester coaches. I mean, they've got, it's hard. You're up 14 and seemingly control the game, but they've got to be a little frustrated that it's just not a sharper game from their players.
Now on 2nd down, Dorchester. It's Jakes with the carry, and Stephen Jakes with another great move in the middle of the field.
Excellent block.
Jakes looking to take it the distance. Adula Beckett making a nice effort to try to track him down, but he will not. Beckett in for the 76-yard touchdown run.
So, talk about breaking big plays. That's his 2nd touchdown of the game, and it looked like he had a decent game on the play, but once he cut back to the middle of the field, got an excellent block to knock out the safety. It's just all his speed to get the touchdown. So now it's 32-12, and Dorchester trying to tack on 2 more.
Now the 2-point conversion, they fake the handoff to Campbell.
Oh,
Kai
good
Harris
fake. Good
going
fake.
in, standing
Yeah.
up for the 2-pointer.
Late flag for some reason. Not sure if it'll be dead ball or
Legal block in the back,
block in
85
the back.
white. They're going to
Dorchester.
take that. You're going to take that. You want that penalty, blue, right?
so. Dorchester will have to try again. This time from the 13-yard line.
Well, that'll back up Dorchester 10 yards.
Yeah, sometimes on those reverse plays, you get some of your teammates turned around and they'll throw a block at the wrong angle.
So Dorchester Bears again looking for the 2-point conversion. Currently with a 20-point lead. It's Jakes looking over into the flat to Kai Harris. Slips a tackle. Harris still on his feet. Leaps in for the 2-pointer.
That's a good effort. That's a really good effort because it looked like he was wrapped up at around the 8-yard line. So when you have that strength, as a senior, okay, first tackle just gets thrown away and then actually ran through 3 tackles. Well, I tell you, Harris will be happy on the bus going back because he has the kickoff return, he has the interception return, now he has the 2-point conversion.
I think Kai Harris is going to sleep pretty well tonight after all the running he's
He
done.
might sleep on the bench over there. They got enough players. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to start seeing some backup players for Dorchester pretty soon.
So Dorchester with a 22-point lead over Charlestown here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, kickoffs has been probably the most exciting play of the game so far. Let's see if Charlestown can make something happen here.
As you mentioned, coming in, Dorchester undefeated, 5-0 on the season, 4-0 in the Boston South. Charlestown 1-3 on the year, 1-3 in the Boston North.
Off the side of his foot, looks like.
And Charlestown having a tough time fielding the football. Did Dorchester recover? Not quite sure. It was close to the sideline. Might have just gone out of bounds.
Yeah, it looked like it was a onside kick. See, it's sort of squibs, and there's the tackle as the ball runs free. I think you're right, Pat. I think it might have gone out of bounds. Or the player recovering it might have been out of bounds. So Charlstown comes back with, with their offense from scrimmage with Vaughn Skinner, their junior quarterback.
We'll see if Charlestown can respond. I think even though down by 3 touchdowns, having a couple of scores already on the board gives this team a little bit of confidence.
Oh, it does.
And I think like Coach Cahill said, we're still going to try to throw the ball. We're still going to try to do things out here, even though we're down by a decent deficit. Getting drilled at the line of scrimmage was Sayon Nathaniel.
Yeah, so that's
Slow to get up.
That's some inexperience with Skinner, the quarterback, because he sort of sailed that ball out there and really set up his teammate to be hit. Yeah, they called it incomplete. That's the one you have to zip in there. It's a sort of a bullet pass to give the receiver a chance to turn and look downfield. But when you have to turn toward the ball and wait for it, then the defense is just flying at you.
You see Coach Cahill talking to Vaughn Skinner. Coach Cahill in his second season as the head coach at Charlestown. Certainly it's been a couple of frustrating years for him. He was an assistant coach for Charlestown for many years. And he's, as he said often when we talk to him, he's coached good kids, kids who want to play hard, but when you just don't have numbers, it makes everything difficult. Never mind games, but also practice. I mean,
well,
you only have 15 kids at the game.
Right.
You probably have
so
like
much.
11 or 12
right.
at practice. Over the right side, good pass over the middle.
Oh, nice cut.
That time to Sayon Goodrich. And Sayon has passed midfield up to the 49.
Now, we saw him on a couple of long passes that didn't connect, but that time did a really good job. Made the catch and was able to cut away from the safety. Watch right here. See, he gets some yards after the catch by a couple of slick moves. It's a first down for Charlestown. And a nice pass, too, because what happened, it gave Goodrich a chance to get it and still make a move downfield. That's the end of the third quarter as we're going to switch sides.
Interesting. So now we start the fourth quarter here at Charlestown High. Usually both teams get a break, but
it's a good,
doesn't look like it's going to happen.
It's a good place to switch, get right at midfield. So you don't have to, you don't have to
Very
move the ball
convenient.
much.
So now in the fourth quarter,
Okay, inadvertent whistle. Not sure.
yeah, they should replay that down. That was.
Yeah, on that one, Vaughn probably just should have looked at the referee and said, "What the whistle for?
What's going on here?"
I'll give him the ball. I think you're right, though, Pat. I think they're gonna. No, they're gonna call it. It's like they're gonna count the play.
I'm very surprised.
Well,
We heard that whistle up here.
Definitely, there was a whistle. And
That's
what
Coach Cahill
was talking
not
about right
happy
now.
about
He's saying,
that.
"Wait a minute, you blew the whistle." I think the official's saying, "Well, your kid made a play and threw the football." So it'll be 2nd and 10 now. We talked about Dorchester. I mentioned earlier they had 2 shutouts. They shut out Burke 28-0. They shut out West Roxbury 28-0 earlier this season. They beat New Mission 28-12. Tough game against Latin Academy, which they won 18-6.
And now Skinner just going to chuck it out of bounds to get away from the pressure. I'm sure you're seeing some frustration out of Charlestown.
He's done that 2 or 3 times today. And see Coach Cahill saw him throw it downfield. It'll be an incomplete pass. He actually threw a lateral. That's where the ball's going to go back. Again, any experienced quarterback hasn't grasped the concept that an incomplete pass has to go forward, has to go past the line of scrimmage.
So loss of down, so it's now 3rd down and 22 for Charlestown. But that's one of those things, even though Vaughn Skinner's probably not going to be the quarterback after this season, next year when he becomes a senior, they'll probably try someone else. Vaughn's more of a running back. But that's that's still a teaching moment for this young Charlestown team. Those type of rules, which you don't often get in a normal game.
Well, like you said, your players are used to their regular positions. And by studying your position the entire season, the entire offseason, you come in sort of focused on what your job is. But when everything gets thrown up in the air, you're talking about starting with 30 kids, getting all the way down today to 15, you're mixing and matching and having guys do things that they're totally unfamiliar with. I mean, it's no surprise that the 2 touchdowns came on just unusual plays.
Right. So now Charlestown forced with a 4th down and 23.
They're going to go in punt formation. This time they're going to be punting against the wind, actually.
Low snap. Sky high punt, but it's only going to go about 10 yards.
Yeah, see, the wind brought that back.
Bounce back.
It's actually going to be a minus punt.
Yeah, if you're Charlestown, just pick up the football.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a negative punt there for Charlestown.
Yeah, you know, Pat, like you said, you were surprised last time. I'm surprised this time because they've been having trouble with the long snaps. They're against a pretty brisk wind, and that's exactly what happened. The ball went straight in the air and just went backwards back toward Charlestown. A negative 8-yard punt with the bounce.
So Dorchester with a 22-point lead now with the football on 1st down. The handoff to Theo Campbell. Make that Kai Harris.
Yeah,
and Harris is wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
You got to give Charlestown credit. You talked about how they're playing hard at halftime, and other than that huge play by Jacques on the keeper and the touchdown, the rest of the scrimmage plays, Charlestown's competed pretty well.
Out of the shotgun, it's Jakes. Going to hand off to Campbell here on 2nd down. Theo Campbell down the left sideline. He is in for a touchdown. Theo Campbell.
And that's the first time, well, to me, that's the first real indication of just a tired and overmatched defense, because there was no one really in pursuit after he broke the line of scrimmage. I mean, this is shaping up to be a real wide score, but, you know, without seeing the game, wouldn't realize at one point it was 12-6. You know,
that's right.
It's just how football can, how games can just blow up on you in the scoreboard.
Pass to the flat there for the 2-point conversion. Laquan Gilks.
There's good execution on that, because Gilks took the right angle to give himself an opening, and by having the pass and led to him, watch the pass. It's going to lead him toward the sideline, so all he has to do is just walk into the end zone.
So 30-point lead now for Dorchester here in the 4th quarter on top of the Charlestown Townies. So Dorchester will improve to 6-0 on the season.
It's their highest scoring game, too. Like I said, they scored 28 points 3 times. But this 42 is going to be by far their biggest output.
Next week, the Bears will be taking on Boston English at English. That should be a fun one. We'll have 2 good quarterbacks here. You see Stephen Jakes. We haven't got a chance to talk about him too much. They haven't had to do a lot with him, but he's had a very good season.
Yeah, his running has been excellent today.
Meanwhile, on the other side for Boston English, Stanley Vargas.
Yeah, he was fine. The game we did with him, that was
a lot of fun to watch as well.
He made that a really, really exciting game.
Boston English actually coming into today after a tough loss last week to a very young and surprising New Mission football team who has all of a sudden win 2 games in a row.
2 in a row, that's right.
And that kickoff will go off for Charlestown. That's going to bounce into the end zone.
It's a touchdown.
And that will be a touchdown for Dorchester.
Talk about how can anything go worse. That on the kickoff, you don't cover or can't control the bouncing ball. And because Dorchester's coverage team is hustling down there to make a tackle, really, but it's a free ball. And after it was muffed, Dorchester was able to just cover it in the end zone. So just like that, 48-12.
Lamont Haynes with the fumble recovery in the end zone for the touchdown for Dorchester.
That'll make his day, right?
That's
You
right.
didn't expect that. He's running down the kickoff.
That's right.
All of a sudden, he gets 6 points.
It's a nice shot of an airplane coming through. Even though we're in Charlestown, not too far from the airport in East Boston.
That Campbell.
And Theo gets in for the 2-point conversion.
The Charlestown team at this point is tired and having a hard time reacting to anything.
Now some of these younger guys who have been on the bench for most of this game for Charlestown, it looks like they're going to get a shot here on the kick return.
Come on, boys. Gotta get some more points up there. Let's go, guys.
Should be similar with Dorchester. They have many more players here, so it gives some players a chance to run down. So in the end, it's actually turning out similar to what we knew it could have been. Like I said, coming in, Dorchester averaging 24 points and only giving up 6, undefeated. And I don't think we expected 50 points, but this shows you how good they can be.
You see Kewan Platt back to receive for Charlestown. And on the return, Charlestown down the right sideline. They're knocked out of bounds right around the 30.
Well, we talked about how we haven't had much from scrimmage, and it's true. Other than the big run by Jacques last time was from scrimmage, but
yeah, Theo Campbell's had a couple of good runs in the second half, but I mean, it's been on a lot of returns, a lot of fumble recoveries and whatnot.
Right, special teams, fumble recovery, interception return.
I mean, some teams don't see those type of scoring plays all season. We've seen them packed into
multiple
one
in game, right? Yeah, and that's why coaches they always say you just never know what to expect.
And looking for Abdullah Beckett down on the sideline. Play was close, but Beckett unable to hang on.
Well, they've had Skinner throw the ball 16 times. They're trying to get it downfield. He's completed 7, but most of them have been for really short yardage. So 6-0 for Dorchester. You got to, looking down, like you said, the next couple of weeks are key because with the new playoff format from a couple of years ago, you really have to start peaking right after midseason. And so Dorchester, especially the coaching staff, has to work on some things to get this team ready for first round playoffs.
Handoff over the left side for Charlestown. It looked like Goodrich got the carry that time. And now we have an injury down on the field for Dorchester.
Had 2 helmets smacked together.
That was Renee Legary with the carry for Charlestown. Jabari Handy gets up there. That's a good sign for Dorchester. Jabari, one of the best defensive players for the Bears. So Kai Harris trying to finish off that tackle. Jabari out of the outside linebacker position.
A little surprised some starters were still in there for Dorchester. But again, they really do pride themselves on defensive and stops and keeping scores down. Approaching the last couple of minutes of the game. There's
Trying
the
a halfback pass, wide
right
open.
There. Oh.
There's Vaughn Skinner. I think he might have heard footsteps, and he was unable to.
Well, he saw the safety coming at him. Those footsteps are right in front of him. Because you're right. See, they tried that pass in that play in the first half. Kewan put enough air under it to allow him to run under the ball. But there you go. Like you said, Pat, he definitely let up when we saw the safety coming at him. One of the few long plays that was actually open for Charlestown to gain some good yards, just couldn't complete it. Punching again.
Another slow roller there, and now Skinner going to try to do something with it. And Skinner is going to be wrapped up there in the backfield. Another low snap for Charlestown.
And a huge loss after the snap.
You know, we say it all the time, but it all starts up front. And it's just been a rough season for the Charlestown offensive line. A lot of inexperience, a lot of guys who have not seen the varsity field very much in the past.
And it definitely snowballs. I mean, they've had bad snaps pretty much all day. And on that one, Dorchester still had good pressure to go for a block punt. So Skinner tried to make something out of nothing, but instead it turned into a 15-yard loss. That's going to be procedure. Some of the new players up front for Dorchester, a little anxious to have the backups get some points. That cost him 5 yards.
One thing for Charlestown, a lot of young guys, only 2 seniors right now healthy for this team. So all these juniors and sophomores and a couple of freshmen are getting a lot of time.
Oh, yeah. No, the key is keep them interested. Right. Keep them coming, make sure they come back. And bring your friends. Because 15 kids in uniform mid-season, that's rough to deal with. That's fumbled football.
Yeah, Dorchester, with some of their backups in, fumbles the football.
Watch this one. There's the fumble after the handoff. And actually, Dorchester was able to pounce back on it.
Yeah, not quite sure
what
the
watching
whistle
the clock.
was for there.
They're watching the time. I'm not sure if...
Hey, get the ball again! Let's get it again! Let's go!
Dorchester called back to the huddle.
They must have called timeout because, again, a bunch of backup plays, and from a coaching standpoint, you just want them to run the play right, regardless if you're making yards or not. Just run the play right, do your assignments.
That's right.
Although Kai Harris is still there in the slot. He might be trying for his 3rd touchdown.
Maybe a conventional way of actually catching a pass or something this time. High snap there for Dorchester. And looks like they're just going to fall on the football.
It shows you how strange the game's been now. Charlestown could not get a good snap for a punt the whole game. Simple shotgun snap goes over the quarterback's head for Dorchester. But they still recover it. Yeah, 50-12. We've got to be close to the last play. That's actually it. Yeah. We're going to let them run this one play.
So now on 3rd down for the Dorchester Bears. Try to pass out in the flat. It is complete. Making a couple of nice moves for Dorchester.
Fumble the football.
That's number 85 for the Bears, ripping through some tackles, getting close to the goal line.
He recovered the football.
Marcus Gonzalez, the freshman.
You watch the play. He had the pass down the sideline. Like you said, excellent effort running through a bunch of players. And Gonzalez, he's a freshman. He's a big freshman.
Yeah. He's listed as a freshman.
He finally got thrown down at about the 2-yard line, but that wraps it up.
So that'll do it here at Charlestown High School as the Dorchester Bears defeat the Charlestown Townies 50-12. And you can see why Dorchester right now is after this game at 6-0, 4-0 in the Boston South, one of the best teams in the city. Probably didn't even play their best game this season, but just so many guys that can carry the football. You got a quarterback who is experienced, knows what he's doing. We didn't get to talk about
throw the
Steven
ball,
very much,
but he didn't
really have
throw
to
the ball, right? You're right, because the running was so dominant, and the special teams plays were so dominant that you're right. They didn't really show. I'm sure, even though it's the strangest thing to say, 50 points and it's not even close to their best game. Okay,
that's right.
But the coaches would tell you that because they know. All right, defensively had a couple of lapses, especially on the special teams. But from scrimmage, they were good defensively. It's just that as a coach, when you're playing a team that doesn't have many players or anywhere near as much talent as you have, you really should have a much cleaner game.
That's right.
You know, you should be scoring from scrimmage. You should be defending much better. You definitely should be covering kickoffs. But again, bottom line is they win 50-12, and 6-0 is 6-0.
It's still very impressive, no matter how you slice it.
Very
what teams
impressive.
you've played. Very impressive game for Dorchester, and they got a big game coming up next week against Boston English. We're going to head to break, but when we come back, we will have the Game of the Week MVP, the game-winning coach, and our final stats here from Charlestown High right after these messages. Don't go away.
Time to wake up. I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Don't forget, you've got a job to do today.
Hey, Mom. I got the job. Thanks.
You've got the job. Welcome aboard.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator. This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Did you
take your medicine?
Oh, gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse.
Need a claim number?
Her personal assistant.
Let me just grab a...
Her housekeeper. Her cook. Her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
There's no place like home.
Getting home safely is just a click away. But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size.
We know what you told us.
There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat. Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
All right, you ready for some baseball trivia?
Let's do it.
What year produced the most no-hit games in the big leagues?
7 no-hitters in 1990.
Wow, that's right. Now a question that's not trivial. How many children will witness bullying this year?
Huh.
The answer? 3 out of 4.
75%?
That's right. How many of them will say something?
Kids want to help, but don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
I come from a big family. I'm the oldest of 6. To me, being the first person to go to college, it's like setting a standard, you know? My little brother is 8 years old now. I challenge his curiosity. I challenge him to dream. I have to paint a picture for him that he can look up to and live up to and possibly be better than. My name is Jaquez, and I am your dividend.
For those dealing with the daily struggles of caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community with experts and other caregivers to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
Welcome back to Charlestown High School. At the conclusion of Game of the Week, Dorchester takes down Charlestown 50-12. Very impressive game here today for Dorchester. You can see why they have been undefeated through this point in the season. A lot of great players on that team, especially in the backfield, but Kai Harris really stood out today. So many crazy ways that he was able to score the football.
That's what makes it interesting. He plays, obviously, as a starter both sides of the football, offense and defense. Had a huge kickoff return for a touchdown, which answered the Charlstown touchdown on the kickoff return. So that 6-point lead ballooned back to 12 in a matter of, 15 seconds because of Kai Harris. He also had that big 73-yard interception return. And one of the most impressive plays to me was the 2-point conversion where he had to actually get away from 3 tacklers just to get that 2 points, which really insignificant. It's just unusual that a 38-point game ends up with probably the most highlights of the whole season.
It's been crazy. Unbelievable.
But Kai Harris, he was throughout, and let's not forget his tackling on defense. So throughout, he had a really good overall game.
Kai Harris is our MVP tonight, and he is down on the field with our sideline reporter, Damon Turbot. Damon, take it away.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Game of the Week player of the game, Kai Harris, and Dorchester head coach Raul Brown. But we begin with our MVP. I don't know if you know it or not, but you had a little football hat trick tonight. You had a 76-yard interception return touchdown on defense, a kickoff return touchdown on special teams, and then a 13-yard touchdown on offense. Which of those was the most important to you and your team for the win?
Every touchdown. We needed every point on the board, and every time I got the ball, the first thing popped in my head, I got to score and make a play for my team.
And now, when you did get your kickoff return touchdown, it had come just after the other team had scored a kickoff return touchdown. What was going through your mind when Charlestown scored that?
I was a little angry because I was disappointed that they scored. So I said we got to score right back and put them in the hole.
And now you kind of showed, as I referenced, you can do a little bit of everything out on the field. Which one of do you like special teams, defense, or offense the most?
It doesn't matter. I like everything, equal amount. But if you want to break it down, I'm a defense and special teams kind of guy.
Defense and special teams kind of guy. And how are you feeling going into a big game against English next week?
I feel great. I feel we're going to work hard in practice like we do every day. We're probably going to work 10 times harder because we know it's a good team coming up. We got to work hard and play hard.
All right. Thank you very much, Kai. Great game. Wouldn't mind hanging in right here. I'm now Coach Raul Brown. Sorry about that. You challenged your team at halftime. You guys gave up a couple of big plays and were only up a couple of scores. You guys really opened it up in the second half. What did you have to tell you guys to get them going?
Well, I didn't have to tell them much. They knew what kind of mistakes they were making in the first half, and they knew the intensity I wanted them to play with. So I didn't really have to say much. They kind of took upon themselves to get things together and put up some scores in the second half.
Yeah, and you guys, speaking of scores, you guys scored 50 points, a season high for you guys. What on offense specifically worked well for you today?
Everything. The offensive line executed very well today. Kai played really well. All of our running Theo played really well. We have some special players, and I expect those special players to show up to football games.
All right, and they seem to show up today. And after what you've seen today, how confident are you going into next week's game against Boston English? Obviously, it's a big game.
Well, Boston English has a great coach. They have Tom Lamb, who's a legendary coach. They're really well coached. So, I expect it to be a great game. As confidence goes, I'm very confident in my football team. But like I do and my staff knows and like my kids know, it's going to be a very tough game next week.
Right, it's going to be very tough, but you guys do have a week to wait. But for now, I guess you guys can just celebrate the victory. So congratulations to you guys. Great win against Charlestown today.
Thanks so much, Damon, and thank you, Coach Brown and Kai Harris and the rest of the Dorchester Bears.
Right,
Seems like every time we have an MVP interview, the team's right behind
it's a trend
him. It's great.
now, right?
It looks fantastic on camera, so we're totally fine with it, guys. But Kai Harris, he talked about, is he an offensive player, a defensive player? Guys like him, he says, you know what, I'm just a football player. The way that I play out there is I'm just a football player where it's offense, defense, special teams. He's a playmaker for this Dorchester squad.
He definitely shows it, and I think that you're asked about the English game, and they're trying to be sort of understated
right.
because they know English scores well. They can score in big plays. They have the quarterback you talked about. They have some nice special players with good speed. So it's going to be a challenge
right.
for Dorchester defensively. But again, that's you want the big games. You want to go against the better teams and to really prove yourself and get yourself better. So I think Dorchester is looking forward to next week as a really good challenge.
Should be a lot of fun. Dorchester taking on Boston English next week at English High. Dorchester can wrap up the Boston South with a win at Boston English. Let's take a look at the final stats from this ballgame before we sign off from Charlestown High. And first up, it's the Charlestown stats. And again, stats are so misleading because of the score, and then you see those.
What I'll say is they did have 12 points because the stats don't show that they scored anything. I mean, Kewan Platt, a couple of carries and couldn't do much. Laguerre, not much there. Receiving, there were 7 completed passes, but not a lot of yardage. And again, you had a running back trying to play quarterback, and some of the growing pains and some of the inexperience really did show. So Charlestown really didn't have much with the stats. But as Dorchester, I mean, you look at the quarterback, the Jock, 100 yards on 2 carries. He actually had both of his carries were touchdowns. He had a first quarter touchdown, then he scored that big touchdown in the fourth quarter. Campbell, you talked about him last year, more of an outside runner. This year, changing his style, playing more in between the tackles, but ended up with 76 yards on 7 carries. Meanwhile, receiving, not much throwing, only 3 passes were thrown. Josh was able to complete 2 of them, 1 to Harris, 1 to Gilks. And again, you just didn't see his passing ability because they didn't need to show it. And that's how it's that kind of a game. The special teams, the kickoff returns, the defensive touchdowns. It was
why go to the air?
I'm telling you, it was a weird game.
very, very strange
but
game.
But you get them once in a while.
Sure.
And that's just part of the football season.
Fantastic effort here from Dorchester as they improve to 6-0 on the season. I want to thank everyone for joining us here on Game of the Week from Charlestown High School. If you want to watch this game again, you can go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game of the week. All the games from this football season are there, basketball season, a lot of games up on our website. You can also go to our Facebook page, Game of the Week at Facebook. We put the link up there, a lot of different videos, a lot of different updates about what games we're covering. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. We have a hashtag BostonGOW for Game of the Week. BostonGOW is our hashtag, so make sure you check that out as well. Thank you so much, folks. We'll see you next time. Next week, we're going to be at White Stadium, so tune in again next Friday for Game of the Week. So long, everybody.